We've only ever faced Dinamo Zagreb once in our history. That was back in 2008. Darren Bent scored a hat-trick at White Hart Lane in the UEFA Cup. Dinamo Zagreb have won their last 6 games in the Europa League. Jose Mourinho wants a trophy at the end of this season. This is the match preview. Tottenham Hotspur against Dinamo Zagreb. Welcome back to another video. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. So it is game day. Tottenham Hotspur against Dinamo Zagreb in the Europa League last 16 first leg at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, 8 PM kickoff. In today's video, I'll be previewing the game, going through all of the match facts and stats, giving you my predicted lineup and my score prediction. And I've also got a preview from Richard Wilson, the host of the History of Yugoslav football podcast. Let's get into the match facts and stats. Now, Tottenham Hotspur and Dinamo Zagreb have met only once in European competition. Spurs beat Dinamo Zagreb 4-0 at White Hart Lane back in the group stages of the UEFA Cup back in the 2008-2009 season. A game in which Darren Bent scored a hat-trick and Tom Huddleston got Tottenham's other goal that night. Tottenham Hotspur have played Croatian opposition on 7 previous occasions, winning 5 of them and losing twice. Dinamo Zagreb have lost 9 out of 10 matches against English sides in European competition, winning the other game 2-1 against our North London rivals Arsenal, who of course we play in the Premier League on Sunday. That was back in the Champions League group stages back in 2015, and Dinamo Zagreb have won each of their last 6 matches in the Europa League, embarking on their longest ever winning run in major European competition. And Harry Kane has scored 28 goals in his last 33 starts for Spurs in major European competition, including 7 in his last 6 games. Team news for Spurs. Tottenham head coach Jose Mourinho has confirmed that Giovanni Lo Celso will miss this game again through injury. The last time he featured for Spurs was back in December 2020 against Leicester City. Jose Mourinho also confirmed that Joe Rodon, of course, is not in the squad because he is not in the UEFA Europa League squad for these games. Everybody else, though, is fit. Jose Mourinho talking about team selection. He said, am I going to repeat the same team that played against Crystal Palace? No, I'm going to make a few changes. But the team is working very well. Everybody is training hard. Everybody is pushing to play. So for me, it doesn't matter who is playing. Our team is going to be strong. So let's get into my predicted lineup for this game against Dinamo Zagreb at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Thursday evening. I'm going to go for Hugo Lloris in goal. I think that we need our captain and our leader on the pitch, and I'm hoping that Hugo Lloris is there. I'm going to go for Matt Doherty at right back. I'm going to go for Sergio Reguilon at left back. I'm then going to go for the centre-back pairing of Davinson Sanchez and Eric Dyer. I think that Eric Dyer will come back into the team because, of course, Toby has played the last couple of games. I know Sanchez has played the last couple of games as well, but I just think that Jose Mourinho will make that change. I think that Pierre-Emile Højbjerg will start for Tottenham. I think that Tanguy Ndombele will start for Tottenham. I think that Jose Mourinho is going to go strong in this game. He wants to win it. I know we've got the North London derby on Sunday, but he needs to win this game. We need to keep the clean sheet as well. Very, very important. I know some people are saying that Harry Winks might start this game, but I would much prefer Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, and I hope that Jose Mourinho makes that choice as well. Please do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm going to go for Eric Lamela. I'm going to go for Dele Alli. I'm going to go for Heung-min Son and Harry Kane as the attacking 4. I'm hoping that, again, Tottenham go strong, get the result in this game and perhaps pull some of these players off, 60, 70 minutes if Tottenham are winning. But the clean sheet is absolutely vital in this knockout stage of the Europa League. My score prediction, I'm going to go for a 2-0 Tottenham Hotspur win. We are in great form right now, and I think that will continue. And I'm hoping that Harry Kane, loves scoring European goals, and I hope that it will be a great night for him again. Lastly, the game will kick off at 8 PM UK time at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, obviously still being played behind closed doors. The Tottenham Hotspur team will be playing in all white, while Dinamo Zagreb will be playing in dark blue. Our goalkeeper, hopefully Hugo Lloris, will be playing in orange, with Dinamo Zagreb's goalkeeper in green. I've now got an opposition match preview clip from Richard Wilson, the host of the History of Yugoslav Football podcast. He gives a great insight to Dinamo Zagreb and what they have been up to this season.
Hi, my name is Richard Wilson. I'm the host of the History of Yugoslav Football podcast, and I'm here just to give a quick run through of sort of the Dinamo side of the Dinamo Zagreb against Spurs tie in the Europa League. So a few things to go over when we're talking about it. Firstly, just sort of how Dinamo Zagreb have been carrying on this season. So Europe has very much been the highlight of the season in terms of their Europa League campaign. They originally started in the Champions League and were knocked out in the third qualifying round, losing away to Ferencvaros, who obviously made the group stages. Then dropped into the Europa League, came through the group with some ease. They came within 15 minutes of becoming the first side in any European competition to go an entire group stage without actually conceding a single goal, which is, given that we have 30 years worth of group football in various European competitions, is quite some feat. Domestically, they are of course expected to win the Croatian title pretty much every year. However, what we've seen this time round is that there has been a real concerted title challenge from Osijek, who are managed by Dinamo's former manager Nenad Bjelica. Europe therefore has really provided quite a positive spin on a season that would otherwise be looked on as one that's been really challenging. They certainly don't expect to be in mid-March and still be embroiled in the title battle back home. What we have seen since the end of the winter break, really, is Dinamo start entering form that would be best described as ominous. They opened up the spring campaign with a loss against Rijeka, but from then they've been pretty much foot perfect, beating Osijek quite handily in what was really deemed to be a bit of a title decider. In terms of the key players for them this season, obviously the big one, that's missing, is Josko Gvardiol even, the centre-back come left-back who they sold to Leipzig over the winter, but who is on loan for Dinamo to the rest of the season. He played in a cup game against Slaven Belupo last week, put up with a bit of a thigh strain. He was rested at the weekend and thought as a bit of a doubt for the first leg. As it's actually transpired, he's going to miss both legs and the international games for the under-21s coming up at the end of the month as well. Without him, they still are a very, very talented side. Key for them this season, particularly in the midfield, has been Arian Ademi, sort of a defensive / box-to-box midfielder, and Lovro Mayer, the creator-in-chief of the side. Obviously, they do have the two higher-profile players in Mislav Orsic, who has proven himself to be really, really handy from an attacking sense on the European stage, and of course the main striker and Croatia's main striker as well, Bruno Pekovic. In terms of how they'll be set out, generally Dinamo sort of alternate between 4-1-4-1, 4-2-3-1, 4-3-2-1, depending on what phase of play they're in. How it sort of plays into their lineup, the back four is generally very solid. You'll have Dominik Livakovic, the Croatian national team goalkeeper, in nets. At right back would be Stefan Ristovski. In the centre will be Kevin Theophil-Catherine and Rasmus Laversen. At left back, probably, I suspect, will be Marin Lejevac, deputising for Gvardiol. Then in front of them you have two holding midfielders in Christian Jakic and Arian Ademi. Ademi will play a little bit further forward. He is more of a box-to-box player, a more dynamic player than Jakic, who will sit there and screen. If they are playing 4-1-4-1, then Jakic will be the one and Ademi will be within the four. If it's 4-2-3-1, then they'll be playing alongside each other together. A little bit further in front of them would be Lovro Mayer, who's the Croatian Under-21 international. He will very soon be a Croatian full international. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Then on the wings, which we'll get into, Mislav Orsic and Luka Ivanisevic. Luka Ivanisevic is the one who will be picked on the right. He is naturally a left-sided central midfielder, or he even has been used previously as a left winger before. He will tend to drift towards that area. and then up front would be Bruno Pekovic. What that means is that Dinamo often line up sort of a very asymmetrical formation. On the right, you'll have Ivanisevic, who will always tend to go in, and Ristovski going round him. On the left, Orsic going on the outside, then the fullback coming on the inside. Which means they're able to flip forward and be reliant on sort of having four central players in a spine in Jakic, Ademi, Theophile Catherine and Lauritsen as a sort of defensive block. In terms of how that's played out in the Europa League, obviously going through the group, conceding only one goal is, an incredible result by anyone's standards. It was against Wolfsberger, who, their results were sort of broadly similar to what Spurs achieved against them in the last round. And the other two teams in there were Feyenoord and CSKA Moscow. Two absolutely not, they're not easy games by any stretch of the imagination. So Dinamo's ease at qualifying was really quite surprising and really quite impressive, let's be quite honest. In the last 6-32, it was against Kuban Krasnodar. Now Krasnodar, obviously in the Champions League initially, drew 1-1 against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge earlier in the season. And Dinamo went to Russia and beat them 3-2 with Petkovic's best game of the season. That's something that's probably going to play into it, is that Petkovic is coming into form. He is very much a form player, and on his day he's absolutely unplayable. In the second leg, then they got a fairly early goal, and that was pretty much the tie dead. So that was, Krasnodar were a very tricky tie. They would have been a tricky opponent for any team, to be quite honest. And the Dinamo qualified so easily past them was something that was a really good sort of harbinger for the Spurs game. In terms of the orientation of the ties, obviously Dinamo were playing home in the second leg, so they come in with what we sort of normally deem as an advantage. I think what we've seen this season is that home away really doesn't sort of matter how you set up. In the COVID era, home advantage isn't really that much of a thing, and Dinamo will hope to prove that. I expect that in both legs they'll set up pretty much the same, unless they're going to the home leg and needing to get a result or needing to hold on to something. That sort of situational analysis is the only thing that's really going to change how Dinamo set their stall. In terms of a prediction, it's going to be a tight game. When you speak to people in Croatia, very much they thought the game's a bit of a toss-up. Spurs obviously have the stronger squad all in all. Dinamo have had a very good campaign. Dinamo sort of seems set up well for European football, but also well to face this particular opponent in terms of how they want to relax and hold the ball and ask teams to come on to them and break them down. Something that Spurs haven't necessarily always been great at this season. Under Mourinho. Mourinho isn't that natural oppressive presser. He isn't that natural cavalier attacker. He is naturally that little bit more cautious with that solidity. It's all in all going to be a very, very intriguing tie. Over the two legs, I suspect it will be decided by one goal. We're talking one goal, away goals, penalties, something like that. It seems to me unlikely that either team are going to be able to impose a great advantage. And certainly if Spurs come into the tie thinking, as many teams do, that they want to treat the Europa League a little bit less seriously, that they're only playing aside from Croatia. There were much harder draws in the pot, which there were, there's absolutely no doubt about that. If they come into that with that slightly cocky attitude, they'll end up losing. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Dinamo are good enough to bloody their noses. It's certainly, as I say, set for a really intriguing game, an intriguing two legs.
Many thanks to Richard Wilson there for that great insight into Dinamo Zagreb and what we can expect from them tonight. Let's hope that Tottenham can keep a clean sheet this evening at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in the Europa League against Dinamo Zagreb and get a couple of goals as well. Of course, it's another very busy week for Spurs. North London derby on Sunday. And then, of course, the second leg against Dinamo Zagreb in Croatia next week. Anyway, enjoy the game. Please do put all of your thoughts in the comment section below, your score prediction and your predicted lineup for tonight's game. Let's hope that Tottenham can get the win and we are all smiling again. Enjoy the game and stay safe and well. I'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Spurs.